And welcome to another exciting installment of the Terrorisk podcast. I believe this is going to be episode 78.
Wow.
I'm with Adam.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Thanks for joining me.
Yeah. Anytime.
It's currently like 10 o'clock. It's November 3rd, 2023. So as far as news goes, Israel is still a country. Palestine, not so much. I mean, they're kind of hanging on.
Yeah. By a thread.
The 2024 election is right around the corner.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be a fucking shit show, dude.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, think about it this way: with like Midjourney and all the AI technology and the deep fake shit. Do you know how much whacked out memes and like deep fake videos is gonna be like all over the internet? It's gonna be nuts. I honestly can't fucking wait. It's gonna be really entertaining. It's gonna be very confusing for a lot of people. They're gonna be like, where did this video come from of Joe Biden sucking Betty Boop's titties? You know, it's like, and then there'll be people that that's real. That actually happened.
Yeah. Hashtag real.
Hashtag Epstein.
Epstein gang. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Fucking yeah. I was thinking of Betty Boop because Ice Spice had
yeah.
She's
her cheeks out.
Yeah, she's kind of a, I really have nothing bad or good to say about Ice Spice. She's just like your standard dumb Bronx bitch who just made it big,
I'm ashamed to remind everyone that she's Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's from the BX, like
I mean that's
huge Dominican population out in the BX.
It's just like a multiplier, It's like, okay, she's Dominican and then she's from the Bronx. So it's like it's making matters worse at that point.
Yeah, no, fucking, she's doing her thing. What was interesting to me though is like there were other acts who right before Ice Spice got big, there were other acts who were like really like they just came out of nowhere doing like, I mean, there was this one song I remember that blew up. It was a TikTok song, I'm pretty sure. It's like, I forgot how it goes. It's like, I've been trying not to go off the deep end. I don't think you wanna give me a reason. You don't remember that song, do you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already fucking forgot. But it was like the biggest fucking song when it came out. And
not big enough apparently.
Oh yeah, I mean it got viral. That's how it blew up. It got viral.
That's why, yeah.
And the person who made it, who sang it, was like an Uber driver when it blew up. And you know what? Yeah, she built a career off that. But like not like Ice Spice big. And Ice Spice blew up, I think, in a kind of a just an out of nowhere kind of way. But then what is it? She got on with Pink Panthers.
Oh yeah, Pink Panthers.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, hey man, it did great for her. She got a fucking stellar collaboration.
Yeah, Ice Spice is. She's definitely less malicious than like Azalea Banks.
Oh yeah,
or that's like Nicki Minaj.
Demonic shit right there.
Cardi B,
another Dominican, also from the Bronx, I believe.
Yeah, I think they needed an Ice Spice to come out because like acts like Cardi B and fucking Nicki Minaj, and Azalea Banks, they were just acting too retarded. Like they were like these bitches are they're too dark skinned. That's the problem. I'm gonna say it. They're too dark skinned. We need a light skinned bitch to tone it down. With all the N-word tree. Yeah. I'm not gonna say the full word because then you're gonna They basically
demonetization.
They needed like a female Weekend. That's what they needed.
Oh, that's a pretty bad comparison, but I get it because The Weeknd is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to his old shit, and it's not bad in the way that it's accurate. It's bad in like what their paths are going through right now. She's like at the beginning cycle of The Weeknd, and The Weeknd is now in his pop shit, trying to get away from his former self. But back then when he started. Yeah, he started talking about, doing Molly, ecstasy, fucking cocaine every fucking day and fucking bitches on Thursday. That was The Weeknd, and we fucking loved that shit. And then he started, like, talking about pop shit, and I was like, I don't really like that, Go back to the old you.
I mean, as far as his music goes, I thought it was always very well produced. It wasn't really my thing. Right. The only thing I didn't like about The Weeknd was like just looking at him, just looking at that man's face. You could tell he's a scum. He's that light-skinned dude that will always try to fuck your girlfriend. Like no matter, you could be his own brother, you could be his cousin, you could be his best friend. He's gonna try to fuck your girlfriend. Like that's just the way. It's like those light-skinned dudes. They always be doing that.
Well, what's the movie with Adam
Uncut
Sandler?
Gems.
Yeah, that scene like, just touch it, just touch it.
How he's so hard right right now.
Bro.
But that was bad because like The Weeknd is that motherfucker though.
There's
is that
several
guy.
people that I know who personally who's done that shit before, like at a house party.
Yeah.
So when I saw him do it on the big screen,
touch
I
it,
was
just
like,
touch it.
bro, he is exposing game right now.
That's how they be doing. That's how those light skinned
Yeah.
dudes be doing it.
They don't give a fuck. They don't have no allegiance to anybody.
Yeah.
I guess some of that.
But also they know like, you know, their target. It's like, oh, like who are you going to target? The white girl with the camera who's just there, you know, to take
Yeah.
pictures, right? Yeah, it's like, okay. All right. It's like dating like like one of those ring girls, you know, that holds the signs
Oh,
up in a
yeah,
box.
with
It's
the
like, yeah,
titties.
she's going to get fucked by the winner, man. Like that's just what those girls do.
It's the least he deserves. He's not getting paid.
Oh yeah, I mean,
They don't make that much money, unfortunately. Like Dana White just be like stealing the pot.
ring girls.
No, I'm like the UFC fighters.
Oh yeah.
Like they deserve something, you know. That's the least that they can get some side pussy from the side girl, the ring girl.
Yeah, no, I totally 100%. Those guys get paid absolute jack shit. I feel like there was a boxer recently who was. They were asking him. They were like, "Yo, why don't you transfer over to MMA?" And he's like, "You get less pay, you get more hurt, it's more danger, less benefits, less security. Why would I do that?" Even though MMA is like literally the coolest fucking sport.
Oh
right
yeah,
now. There's nothing cooler than that
that's
shit.
like it's not even a guilty pleasure. I just fucking love it. I just fucking love it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's the coolest fucking shit right now. I mean, you got these like guys doing their gay little baseballs and basketballs and footballs. These guys are like doing like judo flips off the fucking like fencing shit and like
They're
kicking
doing running knees to like somebody's dome and actually connecting. and
Superman
winning.
punches.
Yeah, it's like everything that you like thought was like fighting. They're actually doing it.
Yeah. The only thing is, you know, I mean, you don't notice this because there's nothing else like it, but there's so many rules still. Like we don't understand. Like, you know, I mean, I like it as a combat sport. I think it's the
Yeah.
greatest combat sport ever. The only thing I don't like is like how people compare that to like martial ability. I mean, those guys could kick ass, I'm sure, in a street fight. Like
Yeah.
compared to someone who's untrained. But like, you know, there's still rules to that shit. Like,
Yeah.
whereas in martial arts, you know, it's like if you're teaching self-defense to like Krav Maga to a woman, you're not going to tell her, "Oh yeah, don't hit below the belt, don't hit the back of the head, don't hit him while." It's like, "Nah, dude. Like that's
It's
not
a street fight. There's no fucking ref in the street.
Yeah. So it's like when they do these competitions where it's like these exhibition matches where they have like a master of kung fu who's been doing it, and they say, "Oh yeah, you have a MMA fight with this MMA fighter." It's like, okay, so they both get gloves. All right, that's already you're already kind of like messing with his art. Oh, not only can he he has to wear gloves, but he can't he can't poke you in the eyes, he can't kick you in the dick, he can't punch you in the throat. Meanwhile, those are really all like. That's what real fighting is, like fighting as dirty as you possibly can so that you don't die, you know? Like,
Exactly, because your life's on the line. You don't know if you're gonna walk out of that fight unscathed.
yeah, that's how I know like someone really doesn't know anything about fighting is if they start talking about like fighting fair. It's like, oh, you shouldn't pull their hair, you shouldn't poke their eye, you shouldn't. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, if you're in a position where you're able to establish rules like that, you probably shouldn't be fighting at all.
Yeah.
You know, if you're able to like tell yourself, it's like, oh, I could restrain from having to like poke his eye or punch his throat or kick his dick, then you're able to like avoid the fight altogether, which is what you're supposed to fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so unlike the philosophy of say MMA, where it's like, you're there to fight. You willingly got into that octagon to kick his ass, so go kick his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do anything dirty and don't break the rules. And that's my biggest thing. It's like it's the rules. You can't rightfully compare those two things like something like kung fu with MMA. There's just it doesn't work. It's an unfair comparison.
Yeah, you know about the like. There's this old video like at the early days of MMA, where dudes were still coming out in their gi.
Yeah.
And this one judo practitioner, he had like an arm bar, like hold, and while he was on the ground, he was hitting him with elbows, and you can see him getting a concussion, and that's it. The fight was over.
Yeah.
And ever since then, they've banned
Elbows.
12 to 6 elbows in that fashion. You can still hit people with elbows, but not like directly like that, like straight down, which he was doing on the ground.
Yeah, that was Royce Gracie, the Gracie days of.
Yeah.
That was also when UFC was like not that popular. It was like a freak show. You had guys like fucking Brock Lesnar come in. The guy, I forgot, I think his name was Savrin or something. He was the best of UFC for a while. Like, he was so good where Royce Gracie, I don't know if it was Royce Gracie, one of the Gracies fought him once, beat him, but retired from UFC after that. He was like, no, I can't ever do that again. Meanwhile, that guy that he fought, that wrestler dude, and he was like a real wrestler, not like WWF, like a real, like he was like Olympic
professional
wrestler.
wrestling.
He was kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
He fucked everybody up, and that was a pivotal moment where it's like you had kickboxers come into MMA, you had karate guys, you had jiu-jitsu guys, and yet the wrestler is always the one who dominates. And that taught people a lot of things about MMA. They were like, the ground game is probably like everything. You know, like when it comes to a one-on-one fight in the octagon, the ground game is everything.
Yeah, and it's proven. Like, so many Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioners have like won countless fights in MMA.
My favorite, though, what I like is when you get like freaks of nature. Like, you get that one guy who comes into this like with the actual, like, he doesn't come in as an MMA fighter. He comes in as a karate guy. Like, remember Lyoto?
Yeah.
That guy was awesome. Lyoto, because I saw the way Lyoto fought. He fought like a karate guy. He wasn't like doing like, you know, kickboxing strikes. He was like doing like actual like forms and shit and kicking ass with that. I was like, that's insane. That's awesome. He was using kata, and like that's why Joe Rogan loved him, because Joe Rogan likes that like Asian martial arts shit. Yeah, but you know, but even everyone has to lose eventually. You know, like that's just the way it goes. That's the nature of the beast.
It evolves like its own metagame. Like now, like it's been there for a while. It's like shin kicks.
Yeah.
Leg checks. Like they do that shit because eventually your leg is gonna give out.
Yeah, that's a classic Muay Thai technique though. That's why Muay Thai fighters introduced that to use. What I consider the metagame in like at professional MMA fighting is when the fight's big enough and when the stakes are big enough and like both the fighters are like promoted enough and have like extensive teams behind them. What they would do is, like, let's say it's a featherweight match or a middleweight match, and there's a threshold to how heavy you can be.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll get jacked. They'll be well over the weight, but day of the fight they'll dehydrate completely.
Oh yeah,
they'll put you in a plastic garbage bag. They'll make you sweat literally. Just sit in a huge black bag, just like on a treadmill for hours, until you literally shed like 5 to 15 pounds, maybe more. And like that's so dangerous.
It is extremely
It's so dangerous, but it works. So what they do is they drain their shit. They go in for the weigh-in. They barely make it by a pound, and then as soon as it's over, they start like pounding water, and they bulk up again. So they just go right back up in the fight, and it's like that is the metagame to me of UFC. That is real metagame.
Yeah, they've done that. I forgot who recently. I think it's like one of those Dagestani Russians. Kazmiev or some shit like that. Yeah, he missed weight, and I can only imagine like how much he was trying to dehydrate himself, because he still fucking missed weight.
It must have been funny. It's like, oh, maybe it was just that one chicken tender that did it. Maybe it was like, maybe it was just that one time. It's like, I should not. He's fucked up. Wrong night. He's like, should we go to White Castle? It's like, nah. I really. It could have been months before. It's just one little meal off kilter. The whole plan just gets fucked up. Because that's really how they have to eat. They have like, especially like if they're like big acts. Like they have to count every single fucking calorie that goes into their body throughout the whole day, every single day.
I'd hate to be, in that sort of like maintenance mode, because it's fucking brutal. It's not easy. Yeah.
No, it's definitely fucking crazy hard.
Oh, hello there, pal. The third guest of the show.
Yeah, it's Mochi. No, I mean, like he's been getting a lot more clingy lately. I think it's just because I'm home like all the time, so he's getting super used to just me being around.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So maybe I'll get him a little friend eventually.
Oh yeah. Do you ever like put him on your shoulders and stuff like that?
Yeah. I was actually I forgot to get it today. I was gonna get him a leash so I could bring him outside. It's just it's cold now, so
yeah, I don't think they'd like that very much.
I mean, I don't think he'd care about the cold he has fur, but it's like I'd care. I would just be annoyed, like on a cold day. It's like, all right, yeah, this is outside. Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah, like, but in the summer, it's like I could take him for a walk.
Yeah, they'd be chilling.
Yeah. So other than that, my semen retention challenge is still going strong. I'm on day 16.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's been fun.
You got any superpowers yet?
I mean, you might call it a superpower. I just have like I do feel like I have increased focus. I do feel like I have more energy. I've been waking up earlier. I've definitely I mean, I don't know yet, but I do feel like I work out daily. I've been trying to like I don't really have a gut. It's just like, there's always that little bit of, you just want to trim away and like it's been easier at just retaining semen, like I feel it might be all in my head. I don't know. I kind of see a difference. I should have taken before and after photos. That's what I should have done.
I mean, even if it is all in your head, like, what do you think operates everything else? Isn't it important that, that it is in your head?
No, it's absolutely true. It's just, it's because it's like something so visible, like my waistline. It's like, I should be able to just have, I should have just measured it, instead of like guessing. But so there's that. The real changes happen though is when I tell people. That's like also another very interesting dynamic because different people react very differently to the idea of semen retention.
What kind of reactions have you gotten?
The whole gamut. I've everything from like admiration to ridicule to encouragement to like criticism. It's like, oh, that's not good for you. Oh, that's great for you. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, oh, goddamn, I wish I could do that. It's like, yeah, it's like but what is interesting though is that people tend to feel really strongly about the idea of a man retaining his semen. It's crazy. It's like, I didn't think it would be like interesting for even one person, but I've had like quite a few people by now telling me it's like that's reacting a type of way about it. I didn't think it would be something worth talking about for people, but a lot of people were like, had a reaction. And I was like, oh, cause I would think like if a guy told me he was practicing semen retention, I was like, oh, that's cool. Right on. Interesting. Tell me how it goes, but like some people were really had like thoughts about it. And I'm like, damn.
Like, why do people care so much what I do with my dick,
I think the idea is because, okay, this is going to be like a whole complicated list of reasoning, but we live in a hypersexualized world. Like the modern society is hypersexualized. We're almost encouraged to be locked into like our sexual desires. It's like, oh, you should explore your sexuality. You should always do what feels right. Oh, if you feel like you want to fuck guys, you might be gay. You should embrace that. Otherwise, you're not living your truth. All sorts of shit. Basically, every avenue of sex is not just encouraged but pushed, actively fucking pushed.
You know what? I've always thought about this. And it's because of one specific group, how openly brazen foot fetishes are on the internet. Like, bro, where were you like 20 years ago? You were not posting this hot mess of how much you want your shit stroked by a bunch of feet.
Well, let's look at it this way. First of all, as a nation, on a purely utilitarian level, what happens if your people, like if you ran a country, what happens if your people stop being horny?
Population dwindles.
Exactly. And what happens if the population dwindles? Your country goes kaput.
Production goes down because there's less people to fill those positions.
And the economy fucking crashes. The housing market crashes.
Yeah.
Multiple commercial industries just crash because of no demand. Bad things happen to your country once people stop having babies. So yes, that's the most basic first reason why I could think of to keep people horny in your country. A, obviously. B,
more taxpayers.
There's also people are naturally horny just because we're fucking red-blooded mammals. We're gonna want pussy. Pussy's gonna want dick. That's just the way we're hardwired biologically. So that's another aspect. Another aspect is, which is where it gets a little more insidious. I think it's a lot easier to manipulate and sell people shit. If they're horny.
For sure.
They're more susceptible to shit like that because when you're horny, you're not in a rational state of thinking.
You just want sex.
That's all you're thinking about.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
want
like
that nut off.
So it's like, if you take a horny guy, dangle a bit of pussy, like put a naked woman in front of him dancing, and she's super hot, and then you're like, oh, by the way, sign this. This contract means you give me $20 for the next 2 weeks, every week. And he's like, okay, sure. It's like, oh, by the way, it's like they'll do that because like you'd be surprised, and it's not just guys; it'll work on girls too. It's like it's really insidious how suggestive you could be like to a person's psyche and to actually influence them using sexuality. It's true.
I forgot where I heard this shit, but it was mind blowing. I mean, it shouldn't be, but when I first heard about it, it was to me. And it's how businessmen deal business at strip clubs during the day. And they'll bring a person that they want to strike a deal with. And they bring them to a strip club. And what that person will do is that he'll pay some chick off to give extra attention and touch to the guy that he's cutting a deal with so that he can close the deal properly
Yeah, he's
with
not thinking
agreeable
straight.
terms. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like he's being manipulated by, surrounded by a beautiful woman, getting touched by her. So he feels comfortable. He's gonna sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me. Like that's
Not
fucking
just the girl,
manipulation.
but also it's like he'll say, "Oh, by the way, I got us a bottle of the Blue Label. I know
Yeah.
you love Scotch." And then not only is he getting mad hornied up, but he's also drunk.
Yeah.
That's what's called buttering up your client. You know,
Yeah.
like buttering up your mark. And that's totally a real thing. But now imagine that, but on a mass scale.
Yeah, you're buttering the entire country.
And not just grown men, but women, children, teens. Like everybody.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
It is fucking weird, but it's fucking true.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, I said this to you in the car, but I was like, you know what? If this was the 90s, like true pre-internet era, like as we know it now, I would say, yeah, suggesting semen retention as a regular practice for men might be a little overkill. But in this current day and age, in the year of our Lord 2023, I don't think it's overkill. I think it's
almost necessary to a certain degree because you're always being bombarded by it.
Yeah.
It's like
So
you go outside, you're listening to it, you're seeing it,
and
you're feeling it.
schools don't teach about this shit. Schools
yeah.
don't talk about it at all. Schools do not tell kids, listen, there's a lot of fucking porn out there. It's really bad for your brain. Don't fucking stare at it for too long. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to teach it to kids. And parents, are they going to say anything? No. Because parents are fucking too ashamed to. They're staring at the same porn.
Yep.
So it's like, it's this crazy fucking like epidemic. It's a psychological epidemic. It's a mental epidemic. So this is why, like, I mean, I don't know if I have a cure to it. I don't think semen retention is the end all be all cure, but I know that if I practice it, I would gain a new perspective on this whole jacking off to porn epidemic. Where if I could at least set myself apart, not just to other people, but in my own head. So I'm not one of those people. I'm not a pornoid. I'm not a fucking compulsive cummer. I'm not a gooner. Like I'm not a gooner. So if I know this about myself, then okay, fine. Maybe then now I could approach this with like an objective viewpoint and maybe be able to like help guide people who are in that and be like, listen, this is what you're doing and this is why it's fucking you up.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
At the very least, you're gaining a different perspective out of the whole situation.
Yeah, because
which is like more than you
I
can
never
ask
felt
for.
like I had a problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I never looked at like the act of masturbating and jacking.
You never thought it was a problem,
No.
right?
No, I never thought it was a problem. I was never
Exactly.
taught it was a problem. But until like I looked around, it's also first you look around and you see like the extent at which people are obsessed and like how obscene people are getting openly.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's like people forgot that
Decency,
shame
yeah.
exists. It's
Decency.
like, bro.
Yeah. But then I also consider, we have options. We don't have to be like that. So then how should we be? Practice abstinence. But that can't be it, because that's not sufficient. So this is another thing. Like people have said like vigorously throughout history, it's like many esoteric traditions throughout like, the East and West have said like, have suggested, you practice semen retention and it could lead you to nirvana. It could lead you to enlightenment. I mean, you could say enlightenment as this like crazy thing. I like to just say spiritual awakening. You could, like practicing semen retention could lead to a spiritual awakening. Now, the way I see it, I'm pretty sure I had a spiritual awakening prior to this already. It's not like, I didn't go through this through semen retention. I went through a spiritual awakening through a completely different scenario. That was just like its own thing. It was a combination of a long build up, but also like just this crazy ego spiral from winning first place in that sword tournament and then going through an existential crisis from diving into like alien conspiracy and UFO shit. So that's what ultimately led me to the conclusion of raising consciousness. And that's what led to my spiritual awakening. But apparently, like, let's say you start just as a, before any of that, you were just, not a spiritually awakened person. You didn't believe in a soul. You didn't believe people had spirits. You just thought you were just a walking conscious, like, bag of meat, and that's all you were. And, you didn't believe in a higher self, a higher consciousness.
Yeah.
If you practice semen retention as that base spiritually unawakened person, that will lead to a state of spiritual awakening or enlightenment, quote unquote, or nirvana or whatever. So I think what I had was like, it's not like I was using this as a means of getting to enlightenment. I feel like I just already kind of had my spiritual awakening. This was just like a kind of an exploration. Like I want to see, do you get superpowers from not coming? Like I just needed to know. I had to know. And then also I felt compelled to do it because this is something I could do.
Yeah,
like it's not like
really
I have to
easy.
I don't have to buy anything. I don't have to pay for classes for this. All I got to do is not come. Like I know I could do intermittent fasting. I know I could control my bodily urges and desires. So why not this? And I've tried it, and honestly, I'm getting some pretty wacky and crazy like results. I mean, wacky as in nothing like nothing intangible that I can't like explain. I mean, like literally like higher amounts of energy. It's just unexplained, you know. A better diet couldn't do this.
You think women can tell guys that are like gooners? You think they just like they smell them and it's like, yeah, he's cranking his hog 24/7. Like, yeah, I gotta stay away from this guy. This guy's dangerous.
Oh my God.
There's nothing he's willing to do.
Okay, so my brain is telling me I have no idea because I've never been in the mind or the brain of a woman, so whatever, there's no way I could know for sure, but my gut tells me yes. I think women
so too.
I think women know if they're
Yeah.
dealing with a coomer or a gooner. Like they
Yeah.
know this guy's like, what this motherfucker cannot go a day without busting a nut.
Yeah.
And I know people like that personally. I know people like that. And like at first, you know, for a second, I thought I was like that. You know, because like
Yeah.
there was nothing stopping me from like coming every day. And for a while, like that's what I would do. I'll be honest, full disclosure.
Yeah.
And you know, because first of all, you're taught like it's natural, it's healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. You can
Right.
do it as much as you want to, whatever you want, which I think like is
Yeah.
probably not correct. You know, like I do think there's like if
There's a line that's
there's an
getting
addiction,
crossed.
like you could be addicted to this sort of thing. You know,
Yes,
like
for
you
sure.
could get addicted to literally whacking off and like, and if you, but it's not. It's like, but there's also the second lie that's it's not healthy. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be healthy if you do it once in a while. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll blow off some steam. But I don't think it's healthy to do it like where they say like, yeah, do it as often as you want. Like, no,
Nah, bro.
you
You're
have
like,
to
you're
set
frying
limits.
your brain with all these chemicals that you're releasing in there. It's like, yeah, of course this is not good for
And
you.
you add to that highly visceral, highly fucked porn. You know, like
Oh yeah, that shit's fucking disgusting. Like, it's so normalized, and I'm like, where the fuck did we get there? Like, how did we get here? I really don't know, because I wasn't looking this shit up.
Well,
So somebody's looking it up. I don't know who. I don't think I want to know, but somebody's doing it enough for it to be a market. And that's another thing. It's selling somewhere. Somebody is consuming this shit. Somebody is buying it, and that's the worst part. Like, yeah, it's a problem, but it's not gonna go away because now money's involved,
Yup.
and people don't want to stop making
See,
money.
this is where it gets really, really, really dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's just go with a thought experiment, not even like making like actual claims, and it's still gonna get really fucking dark. This is
Mm-hmm. All
partially
right,
what
there
led to
we
my
go.
spiritual awakening, that existential crisis. So like we look at it like this. You were just referring to porn that's out there that's just so sick, and you're like, dude, people are actually buying this shit, right?
Yes.
Just, you know, off the top of your head, like what would you say is like, you know, that you would know in recent memory that's the most fucked thing you've ever seen?
Forced stuff.
Forced stuff? Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
not to say a word to demonetize you, but it's the forced stuff.
Okay, yeah, okay. So forced stuff. You've seen that, you deem it, that's like a little over, you know, that's over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want to ask you a follow-up question. Do you think that's the worst shit that's out there?
No, there's definitely worse.
Right? There's definitely worse, okay? Now this is where we're going to ask the next threshold. How far black do you think that goes? Like how dark? How worse do you think it gets? This is where your imagination is going to take you to that place where it's like, oh fuck, and you realize every bit of every nightmare scenario we could imagine when it comes to that shit is real. It's out there on the dark web. It's fucking out there, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking out there. This is why it's so bad. This is why it's so terrible, because there's really no limit. There's no bottom. There's no like people think it's like, oh, you know, they think of porn and they're like, this is where I draw my line. You know, it could only get there. How much worse could it get? My
It
dude,
is sunken in the core of the
my
earth.
dude, it gets so bad. It gets so bad where it's like, even if I don't care about monetization on this channel, I just in good conscience couldn't even like
Yeah.
say it out loud like to
I
like the
wouldn't
internet.
either.
Like it's that bad. Like dude, it's and it's real. See, this is the kind of shit that made me like really believe, you know what, there are demons. Demons are real. Archonic forces are real. Maybe reptilians do feed on like crazy, like, you know, human suffering. Because it's just, it makes it's really easy to slip that slope of like conspiracy, because you want to blame something. You want to blame something otherworldly, something not human. You don't want to believe that like something that's essentially 100% human, it could be that purely evil, right? Which fair enough, you know, it can't be the most uncommon reaction, right? So that's one way. Another way to react to it is, okay, so if there's this much evil, then purely then what, there's those people that just gets driven all the way to the light, like to the point where it's like blinding them, you know, where it's
Yeah.
like they get so shook from like glimpsing that darkness, where they become like evangelical Christians or something.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they submit to Christ because they get scared there. They literally get. And I'm saying I was that scared. I was so scared where it's the kind of shit that makes you want to turn to God. You know, once you really immerse yourself in that darkness, in that really dark depths of like, you know, what humans could actually do and what humans do, and not just humans, like, you know, average humans, like at the top elite circles of our fucking species, the 1% of the 1% are doing and facilitating. Or it's suggested that those are the guys that are actually doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's no other word for it, but like demonic, satanic. Like it's ritual, it's violent, sacrificing innocent lives, it's depraved acts. You know, that just like bastardize natural aspects of nature. It's defiling nature, and it's like it's fucked. It's all. There's nothing good about it. It's all 100%. So it's like, why? You know, you would say, why are they doing this? And there's really very few answers other than
I personally think it's just power over exerting power.
No, but even then, I truly believe humans on their own, like if you take at least 92% of people, at least, who, and you don't, you know, just 8% not counting, maybe they're just anomalies, there's always exceptions or whatever. But I do think by and large, almost every person wants to be good. Every person wants to be the good guy. Hitler, I think, wanted to be the good guy. I don't think Hitler woke up every day saying, I'm the villain. I'm the villain. I think Hitler woke up every day saying, I'm the fucking hero.
They were doing something right.
So I think people have a compulsion to be good. Whether they're good at being good, that's completely up. And, you know, not plenty of people suck at being good. You know, like many people do more harm than good. You know, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you know, when you're talking about where not only are you powerful, but you're that powerful and you're choosing to do that, like, great. And remember, none of this is confirmed. These are people who own the media. These are people who could literally spin whatever story to look like whatever they want. This is assuming they exist. This is working under that assumption. But I think they do. I think that those kinds of people exist. I think those kinds of parties are that powerful. And I think, like, those are the people that have been ruling us through our base animal desires and keeping us in these like small ass gameplay loops, you know, and that's all it is. It's just a gameplay. That's what the Matrix is. The Matrix isn't necessarily like a digital world that you're, you know, it could literally happen in real time, in reality. It's just keeping our minds locked in like loops of like material satisfaction, desire, and insecurity and fear. And how does that make us act? Like dicks, like rapists, like criminals, like killers, like warriors, like soldiers, you know, that want to kill other people. Like it's those low vibrational, low frequency thoughts that make us do the most heinous acts. And you notice it's the people who literally don't believe in God. They don't believe they don't believe in spirituality. And it's sad to say because I identified as an atheist at one point. I literally did. I say, like, I don't believe in a heaven. I don't believe in a hell. I don't believe in a soul. I think we're just blah blah blah, and when we die, we die. That's what I honestly believed. I could honestly say without a doubt I believed in that, without any doubt. But now it's like just I could honestly say I shifted my belief. I'm a spiritual person now. I believe humans have spirits. I believe we're all just souls having a human experience. And I just think, like, well, first of all, like, let's go with the positives. Like, just from me adopting that belief, massive instantaneous shift in my life.
Really?
Everything got great. I started feeling good. Everything started working for me. Everything, like, I was able to actually, like, be able to like discern things better, discern people better. I was able to see like who actually like had my best interest at heart and who actually didn't. I was able to see right through people. Like as soon as I just adopted this idea of, you know what, the universe has my back. First of all, the universe is a conscious thing. Life is a conscious being. It's a conscious force. It's an intelligent force and it knows exactly what it's doing to all of us. Life is a conscious force and I'm going to trust it. And as soon as I made that like decision to trust life, suddenly everything just opened up.
Wow.
And I think that's really what they mean throughout history when they like open your they found God or whatever.
Yeah.
I interpret that as I just decided to trust life. I'm going to trust life. I'm going to trust this universe. I think life knows exactly what it's doing to us, and I'm going to trust it.
Yeah. You open yourself to that.
Yeah. And it's also like, what's the worst that could happen? I die. Okay. Well,
that was going to happen anyway.
We all die. Exactly. You know, the real question is what happens after you die. And that's where you start, like, that's where your faith kind of, like, has to, like, fill in the gaps. Like, okay, so you believe you're a spirit. You believe you're a spirit having before that. Like, you believe that you trust life. You believe life is a greater intelligent force and you trust life. And you are of life, right? You are life, in a way. You are literally made of stardust. This planet is made of stardust in the big grand scheme of things. You know, we're all made of like at one point a star exploded, created like minerals which collided, which clumped up together into
that's
like
kinda sick.
giant, you know, orbiting, you know, satellites and planets. We're stardust, you know, like in any product that happens on that planet, it's like made of the same stuff ultimately. So how you would interpret that is, I am life. I am a focal point of the universe being made aware of itself.
Wow.
Okay, so like a good way to imagine it, like if you want to know what it's like to be God, if you want an idea of what it might like to be God, to create us, or to be the higher consciousness that's that's broadcasting soul into our bodies, imagine like you ever have a conversation in your head with like imaginary people, or you ever like imagine imaginary conversations in your head. You've done that, right?
Yes, I have.
So you
Several times.
literally conjure people in your head to say dialogue as another entity is speaking back to that entity, right? You're creating beings talking to each other in your head, right? Now, suppose one of those beings or both those beings just turned and looked at you. As you're imagining them, they look back at you and they say, "What am I?" That is what a spiritual awakening is to God.
Wow.
So that's what it's like. You know, so yeah, we could do these things in our heads because we are made of the same entity that creates and transmits us. Maybe that's just what God's doing to us. Maybe we are just imaginary characters in God's imagination, just having conversations in his head.
Holy shit. I never thought about that.
But that's what I'm talking about. These are one of the benefits of being like a spiritually awakened person. A spiritual awakening is really just a shift in perspective. It's like, what if I'm not just a piece of meat? Oh shit.
You're seeing it from the other side.
Exactly. You know, you're finally allowing yourself to not just be Adam or Chris. It's like, no, I want to be that thing inside. I want to be the thing that is in both Adam and Chris. And then if you go up the chain, it's like after our bodies die, the spirits go up and they converge into like one other thing. Who knows? Maybe those things converge into other things. You know, like maybe it goes higher and higher. And what's the source? What's the tippy top? God. That's source. You know, some religions call it God. Some religions call it, you
Yahweh.
know, the life stream. I call it source, you know.
Wow. That's pretty enlightening, man. I never really thought about that.
I mean, it's not mine. I didn't make this shit up. This is just really just, to me, it's like, I see it like every religion, every esoteric ritual, like mysticism, tradition, they're like different fingers pointing at the same direction.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we're all just like constantly looking at different fingers, but at some point you just look at to what they're pointing to and you're like, oh.
Everybody's too focused on the person with the finger instead of what they're pointing at.
Until you actually see it and you realize they're all pointing to the same fucking thing in a way. It's just, you know, it's going to get distorted for all sorts of reasons. For some, it's just through time. For some, it's misinterpretation. For some, it's for control. You know, because it's a very easy way to control humanity. If you could like, you know, imagine like from here to enlightenment, but then before they get there, you capture them with like the Bible or something. It's like, gotcha, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, let me stop them before they start thinking outside the box.
Exactly. But if you could sidestep that, which I think is happening, you know, I don't think I'm particularly special for having a spiritual awakening. I think more and more people in our generation, in our current time, are going through it because technology. Big thing. Information is moving really fast.
Extremely fast.
You know, when I was going through these things, I thought I was getting drugged or something. I thought something was, no, seriously, like I felt different and I was like, what the fuck? And then what's the first thing you do when you feel weird? You Google the symptoms. So I Googled the symptoms first, like, you know, exactly as I was feeling them. And then the results that come up is like, spiritual awakening. Don't worry, you're not going crazy. You're going through a spiritual awakening. I'm like, what the fuck is a spiritual awakening? And that's when it all like opened up. I was like, oh shit. And this is where like, you know, it's not, you know, everyone comes into these sorts of things and they become like, you know, some become like wooks and they get into crystals and all that shit. For me, it's like I didn't, you know, I think what kept me grounded was martial arts.
Yeah.
It was me doing the Japanese sword.
And you know what? There's a lot of martial arts that incorporates that into it.
That's what crazy. It just added fuel to the fire. Once I kept digging into the history of like, you know, like what I learned what you know, yoga meditations. They said one of the signs of like a spiritual awakening is as you're going through, you're gonna feel like your body tightening. You're gonna feel your body intuitively contorting into yogic positions. And then I realized, like, as I was reading stuff and watching videos, I was like this. Like with my hands, and that was one of those things. And I realized, oh, that was one of the mudras that I was taught in like in Yagyu Shinkaguryu school, you know, for the swordsmanship. When we did our 60-second meditations or whatever. And you know, I looked back into the root of that, and it tied into like the Buddhist meditation hand signs that they do, like, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So ninjas did the same shit. You know, like Yeah, that's all ties into the same tradition. They're all mudras, and it's all real shit. So what happens is acupuncture kind of works in like along these principles where different points in your body act as meridian points that actually reflect outwards into reality and into the universe. You could find the entire universe apparently within like the human points in the human ear or within your hands. So they say like your hands are actually very powerful. So when you do like different hand signals or hand signs, it actually activates certain meridian points that connect like say a position in your hand to a position in your body, or a position from there to there, which gets reflected into the universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like apparently very powerful shit that's been lost throughout history, and like we kind of just do it with only cursory knowledge of like what it was, the actual depths of like what those mudras and those hand signs actually did. But like apparently like people have had like actual real experiences with stuff like acupuncture. You poke certain points in your body and it suddenly like cures like blockages in your digestive tract or whatever. It's like, yeah, I do believe in that shit, which is also interesting because the closest like science, call it pseudoscience, I don't know, the closest science I could see that relates to is quantum physics. If you think about like two like quantum entangled particles, no matter what distance you place them across, right, whether they're in the separate rooms or you put one on Mars, if you switch their states from like if you set a state from like two positive to negative from its superposition, if you go to that other entangled particle, it's going to look exactly the same, which is creepy because what that means is that change, that whatever dynamic is causing that entanglement to take the form of like altered states in a particle, that's faster than light. And that's like apparently like crazy because what the fuck is faster than light? Nothing could be faster than light.
Can't really
but we just
comprehend
proved that quantum entangled particle, whether you put it in another room or whether you put it whatever, if you switch that state from a superposition to positive or negative or like 1 or 0, that's going to switch to a 1 or 0 instantaneously. No lag, no speed faster than the speed of light.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's
fucking nuts.
But that's just stuff that our modern science is just starting to like catch up to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that's actually a lie. I mean, I have actual science friends that would like yell at me. They're like, no, that's a fucking lie. That's wrong. No, because they'd be right. Like actual quantum physics has been like a thing studied for a long time. Probably since like the 19th century, Yeah. But like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you could see that as plausible, then yeah, you should be able to see things like mudra as possible. Like, there's the 9 seals of the Kuji. There's even one hand sign that I love this one because people show it on YouTube all the time where it's like you actually make this hand sign and you breathe easier and it does work. Like
really?
People have showed it to. Yeah, I can show it to you later.
Yeah.
And then they also have like this stuff where it's like you see like rich billionaires, like when they're on TV at interviews, they do like similar mudras.
Ah, yes, I've seen them play with their hands a bit.
Yeah, and make those like they steeple their fingers or they do the points with the index fingers. That's the Otrabadi mudra. Yeah. I use it. I believe in it. I really do because first of all, I already believe in like just I think changing your mentality automatically, but like altering your state of consciousness can literally put you in like different dimensions, different realities. So here's my idea. Here's my theory about reality, and like people could call it retarded shit. I don't know. I don't care. I think it's fun, but like I imagine like the nature of our place in reality as like every parallel reality in relation to you, every possibility, every universe, every alternate reality is playing out in real time. Like all those realities exist. They're happening at the same time.
Yeah.
At once. Some even like before a little behind, some are lagging behind, some are a little sped up, but they're all happening. Yeah, so it's not divided even between linear points in time. They're literally all happening at the same time. You're dead, you're alive, you're just being born. It's all happening. But as far as like alternate realities, like, as far as your imagination could stretch, like there is an alternate reality out there where Adam is a billionaire and he's out there like fucking hookers on his yacht and like he's doing mad coke, he's shooting guns into the air, having a great time with his buds. There is an alternate reality where that's Adam. There's another alternate reality where Adam's a cop. He's a cop. He's been divorced twice. He's got a bunch of kids, barely paying their bills. And there's another alternate reality where Adam is a movie star. He's well loved, but he's a drug addict. It's all happening.
Yeah.
The point is, you're in this one now. Why are you in this one? Well, aside from the fact that you were just born into this one, yes, that's true. But I do think you have the ability not to immediately jump into alternate dimensions, but to alter the state of your current reality to better reflect different ones. Now, how do you do that? So I see it like this.
First, you have to be open to it.
It's the frequency. It's like a radio, the tuning a radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
All those radio stations are happening at the same time. The only thing is you're just tuning into different frequencies, right?
Yeah.
So your consciousness is only going to experience the reality that it's tuned to. So if your consciousness is constantly tuned to reality, where this is your everyday reality, you're just Adam as you know it from Queens, living your day-to-day life, doing your thing, that's you as you know it. But if you want to even experience a fraction of what it's like to be billionaire Adam, then you have to tune your consciousness to be like that of billionaire Adams. How would a billionaire Adam think? Like, would he think like the way you're thinking now? No,
Definitely no.
But then that's where you use your brain to actually manifest this. Because if you could imagine it, if you could imagine what it's like to think like that Adam, that's tapping into 0 point energy. That's tapping into the energy of infinite possibility. That's how you use it. That's how the secret works. That's how manifestation works. That's how the master key works. Like all of those, hokey fucking new age, schools of thinking or whatever. That's what they're pointing to. That's what they're alluding to.
Yeah.
It's literally tuning the frequency, the patterns of your thoughts and your like thought patterns and your beliefs and your ideas to be able to like alter it at will and change it to match the reality that you want. So yeah, you may not immediately jump to like billionaire Adam with a yacht, fucking hookers and doing mad drugs and shooting guns with buds, but you could just from like tuning closer to that frequency end up as millionaire Adam, driving a sports car in Italy once a year and just having a good time, and that's still better than like
not
here.
being a
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's how those things kind of work, and like different people are better at it. Like certain people are able to make that jump from there to there like really, really fast, and some people are better at just making the jump from there to there to millionaire. But the idea is to be able to do it, to know that that's within your power, and like what does it take to access that? Well, you just shift your perspective. You're not just this fucking meat puppet. Like you have to be you have to have exhibit control over your own thought patterns, and you'll never be able to do that until you separate from that, until you could just like view your thoughts as like a stream just floating by. You're not the person making that. You stepped out of that river, and now you're just watching the thoughts pass by. They're not your thoughts anymore. You're just the observer of your thoughts. And then you look at the source of where those thoughts are coming from, and you're like, oh shit, you're the ego. You're that fucker. You're that fucker who doesn't really know shit. You're that fucker who gets horny. You're that fucker who gets greedy. You're that fucker who gets scared. That's the fucker. Yeah. But the fucker's not the enemy.
No,
the fucker's there
it's
for
a part
reason.
of you.
Yeah, that fucker, that ego guy, he's there, and not only is he there, but before you were able to separate yourself like that, while you were still blinded, asleep, your true self is still asleep within the ego. Your ego had to carry your soul. Like you had to carry your true self. Like your ego was the one who's carrying your ass and trying its best to keep you alive with its like basic ass insecurities, its knowledge. It only knew what it knew.
Yeah.
Whereas your soul knows intuitively everything, and that's hard to believe that a person just has these innate intuitions, but it's not, because like the truth is like there's certain things we just know, like a baby could look at like blood and be distressed. It's like they just know that they're viscerally they're not supposed to be seeing that,
right?
Or like a baby knows like it could be afraid of sudden just darkness, like just instincts, right? But that instinct, that's not just like animal random like saved data on a memory card. Like that's knowledge. That's encoded knowledge in your DNA. And the idea is that knowledge extends beyond everything. You just have to learn to fucking listen to it, because we're taught to close ourselves off from that higher voice.
Yeah. And I think this country has done a good job at keeping people away from that spirituality.
Dude, it's not just this country. It's everything. It's the
Global.
whole system. It's this is what the Matrix is. That's the Matrix. No, people talk like these jack-offs like Andrew Tate and the Bible and fucking all these guys in Buddhism and Hindu. They all talk about the Matrix. And different people like, a lot of people construe it because they take it too literally and as a metaphor for the movie and shit. But no, it's an older concept in the movie. And what the Matrix is literally that, what we just described, how like you're made to never learn you're a spiritual being. You're made to always feel like a random piece of sentient meat. That your consciousness is just this random concoction of like chemistry, of brain chemistry. And it just happened to, put you on this earth just to make babies and make babies that make babies. That's, if you could believe that, fine. but I don't think it's enriching. I don't think that's especially as a creative type person,
Yeah.
as an artist, like as a person who like who knows what it means to draw things from the ether and manifest it into reality in a form of a song or a drawing. Like I know that power, and that's not anything short of divine. So that's why I think being an artist can really help push you into that spiritual mindset where it's like, yep, I totally believe it. I totally believe that there is something higher, you know, because like I think any good artist will tell you like no good idea is really comes from or originates from me ever.
Yeah, no.
Good ideas
it's
are just
from
out there.
surrounding.
It's up to us to accept those ideas.
Yeah.
Like, you know that proverb, it's like, oh, you can't fill a cup if it's already full. Like, yeah, that's what they mean. It's like your head is like a cup. If it's already full of ideas, then you're not going to be able to accept good ones. But once it's empty and you empty it out, learn to just empty it out, then you could allow good ideas to pour in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Flush
yeah,
it
that's,
out.
so yeah, that's
You think you've changed your little radio signal so far?
well, see, that's one thing, right? I mean, all I described was the how.
Yeah.
Now you gotta discuss like the why, right? It's like, so yeah, okay, fine. Let's say you do discover how to change the frequency, how to alter your consciousness, but to what end? What is your desired reality? And that's you can't just like answer that off of because that answer is going to change every day. That's what makes
Right.
it, that's what makes it a difficult game. How good are you at desiring this one outcome? Because one day you could be like, you could just be manifesting and working every day to manifest becoming a millionaire, a hotshot, whatever. Then the next day you just suddenly meet a girl who's like not into those things that you thought, and then you find out you really care about her. It's like, okay, this is where life puts you to the test. It's giving you a choice. Do you care about that original outcome, or are you going to appreciate what life gives you right now, which is the form of this girl? And you can make that deal. You
Yeah.
can make that deal, but you gotta accept that deal for the cost, you know, that it's gonna take. Or you could stick to your path. You could stay true to your path, and then you get to the next challenge. It's like, all right, next challenge would be, all right, so you know, now you're responsible for another person under you who wants to learn from you. You know, how are you going to treat it? And it's basically, it's just going to be a series of challenges that are designed to either make you settle and like accept your place, or to move on to the next challenge. And you know, they say like life is going to give you the same lessons over and over and over again until you finally learn it. That's not even like a modern way. That's Buddhist teaching. Like,
Really?
yeah, life will, like, you will experience the same karmic lessons over and over again until you finally internalize what it has to tell you.
I believe that actually.
Yeah, you could see that in life, and you could look at that in a macro scale. Like, you'll get reincarnated as the same piece of shit until you finally learn that fucking lesson. Yeah.
Until you finally fucking learn that lesson. Oh man.
Yeah, so it's not just your own lifetime, but the idea spans multiple lifetimes, you know? That's what
Jesus.
life is about, apparently. Well, according to the Hindus and the Buddhists, they're like, you know, life is just a series of reincarnations for you to finally like learn karmic lessons so you can be released from that. And once you finally get to every level, you know, living out your lifetimes, learning your lessons, and hopefully doing the right thing, you know, free will being like the random factor, the RNG element of it.
Do you ever think like what you were in a previous life?
Yeah, all the time.
What do you think you were?
Because like, all right, so this is what makes me believe in this shit. This could also just be ancestral memory, but like, there's music, right?
Yeah.
Music never really ran in my family, but I am super into it, and every day I learn more about music, and I think I'm pretty decent at music. You know, like, not the best by any means, not even great maybe, but I think I'm decent. So that being said, if every time like I work on something in music, it always feels like an achievement, like a conquest. Like I have to get past the barrier, and then I finally get to do what I want, right? It always feels like I have to overcome obstacles so that I could meet my objective, you know? But when it comes to martial arts, like swordsmanship, it never felt like that. It never once felt like I was going through a slog of like, you know, like grinding. It never felt like that. It always felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like remembering. It felt like coming home.
Interesting.
I never described it that way because I didn't know how to put it into words, but that's why I stuck with it. I was like, this, I don't know why.
It feels natural.
It just feels right. So like, I also looked at it as like, you know, what are the chances of there being some Japanese in my blood? And then I looked at our country's history. I was like, very high.
Very high.
Very high. Because there was like, that's what the Japanese people did when they came. They just raped everything. They just raped
bro.
all the women they saw. So it's like, yeah, mad people ended up with like Japanese DNA.
You know what I'm thinking of right now? Like the massive glow up of Japanese culture despite like the decades of rape that they've done in China and Korea. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because now when you think about Japan, you don't think about that. You think about anime
Samurai.
and music,
Yeah.
martial arts. You don't think about all the fucking crazy shit that they've been doing in the last fucking century.
Yeah, I do think I do draw some innate sort ability from Japanese DNA in my blood. I think if I went to do that 23andMe, which I never want to do, but if I did do that, I think it would show up. Maybe. Yeah. But then again, there's definitely some there's always going to be warrior blood in Korean because the Mongolians, like every Korean's part Mongolian, it's true.
Yeah, it is.
All I know, it's just like music feels like I said, exploring like a new frontier every time I like make a new song. But like with Sword, it just feels like so like coming home.
Really,
it's crazy.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah, it is amazing to me. So it's like, but I mean, what is that? But it's funny because it's ironic. I would rather it be the opposite.
Right.
I would rather because like, what am I gonna do with this? Like,
let me go chop some nigga down in the fucking street. Like, okay, cool.
I can't do that. Like, that's retarded. Like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But you know what? In a way, it's just beautifully ironic. It's like, fine, I guess I'll accept it. It's not bad. Like what?
It's who you are.
Yeah.
So you can't escape that.
Yeah, and I like Japanese swordsmanship. It's fucking fun. It's not like in the anime. It's a little different than how the anime portrayed it. But
yeah, thanks.
But it's very fun. Once you figure, it's not easy to figure out because it's like playing chess but with your body. So you can't just like you have to use a lot of brain and you have to use a lot of instinct and reflexes. Yeah, but that's the thing. Your body has to keep up with your strategies and tactics.
Right.
If you don't, if you can't like learn how to make your body do what you need it to do exactly when you need it to do it, then like that's the challenge. That's why you got to practice. That's why you got to repeat the action over and fucking
until
over
it's
again.
drilled into your muscle memory.
Yeah, but again, like I never felt like it was like something that I just felt stuck on. I mean, some things, there were some points where I just couldn't get it, but I always like inherently knew it's like I think this sword just fucking sucks. Or it's like also it's like I just think like maybe like I'm missing something in my execution. There's a block missing. I know it's there. But it's like as soon as I find it, there it is, and I just put it in and it's
you have that breakthrough moment where it just like clicks.
Yeah. I mean, like to win the fighting tournament, my breakthrough moment was I just went through a after like outside of class, like just a one-on-one session with my sensei. I was like, Sensei, could you give me some extra tips, like give me some extra training for like Gekken, so that like I could have a better chance winning first place in this tournament because I don't want to shave my head. He's like, yeah. So what he really drilled into me was range. If you really want to fuck with a sword fighter, like beat a sword fighter, you got to be better at range. You got to be better at like, it's also boxing too. Like you got to know how to like get your face just close enough where they'll swing at you.
Yeah.
And you dip back just like a little bit and it misses like that much. That's the missing. That's the sauce. If you get that sense of distance of like knowing like exactly how much like you space you have to like maneuver inside and out of, you're gonna win. So like once he drilled that into me, it was like a whole new game. I was like, oh. Wow. And it's like it's not something you could have. If I first started swordsmanship and then he told me that, I wouldn't have gotten it like that.
No.
But this was after like mad time where it was like I imagined it. I was like, how far do I have? And then like I remember all the visceral physical memories of getting slammed and slammed from every fucking direction, just like flooded my brain, and then suddenly it all came to this one focal point, like right here. I was like, there, that's it.
That's
and
your
then that's
range.
like how close I could get, and that's and ever since like it's like riding a bike. Once you got that point, you just can't lose it. It's like
wow.
It's embedded in my memory. So that's why like people have said, like I've had friends who never trained in sword, and then I would just be like, they would try like sparring with you. I was like, yeah. I would tell them, it's like swing as hard as you can at me, like just try to really decimate me. They're like, all right. But then like for them it was like they were like, it felt like swinging at a ghost, because I would know just to step in, step out, step in, dip out, and it would just be like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And it feels cool too, because like, from a trained person, they know how to play games with you. They know how to like feint you. They know how to, but from an untrained person, they telegraph everything.
Yeah.
So I could just literally like come in like Neo from the Matrix, just like it's like slow motion, like whoosh, bang, and then like dodge.
You know what's so funny? All these concepts, and I know it all links together. It's something that I learned, what I picked up playing fighting games.
Yeah.
Every character
Has
has
telegraphs.
yeah, especially because I used to, play this game Tekken, and I used to be a fucking scrub at it.
Yeah.
And I would do the same shit when I first started out. I'd be using all like these heavily telegraphed moves, and that eventually people caught on. It's like, okay, I'm going to interrupt him. I'm going to get out of his range, and I'm going to punish him. And I'm going to do whatever you do. And then I stopped doing that, and then I started playing compact. Just a little pokes, jabs here, a shin kick there. So people stopped hitting me with like counter hits, so that I didn't get blown up for it. And then I played to my range. This is the range that I want to be. This is the range that they want to be. I'm going to prevent them from being in their range, and I'm going to play at the range that I want to be.
And then that's where, yeah. And then the concept is, if you make them swing first, you win.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they fucked up.
Yeah, they're fucking swinging at air, and they cannot recover fast enough to block, and then I just hit them right there.
Exactly. And you have, but to be fair, you have to be good enough to take advantage of that split second, because that's what I had a hard time with. Like, I knew how to block a hit.
Yeah.
But it's like I realized it takes an extra bit of oomph to get that extra block snap, block snap counter.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I could block it, then I have to follow up faster. I thought I was like following up fast enough, but they would always like catch my follow up attacks. So I was like, oh, I got to be faster.
Yeah.
So it's like I would just anticipate the hit. It would almost be like where I don't even block. It would just slide right off. I would just be like, pow, like
you're at the right advantage, right, to hit them as soon as they swing air.
Yeah, I guess like what I try to go for is to be able to block and attack at the same time. If I could do those two things at the same time, like that's the ultimate move, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, not only did I block your hit, but that's why it's easy to fight with two hands instead of one, instead of one sword. But yeah, like I like fighting games for that reason too, because my favorite way of fighting Tekken is because there's a lot of like bobbing and weaving, there's always those evasive
the
moves.
Boxer characters.
Yeah. I like that boxing training where they get a tire and they have like two guys sparring, but they each have like their front foot in the tire.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, you never?
So they're like tied to that tire with their like right leg, and then
yes, because so they're always in range. So they can never like step back. They have to always like stay moving and stay dodging and blocking and shit and parrying. So it's like that's how you stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
And like that's a scary place to be in fighting, because if you're scared to get hit, you're never gonna want to stay in the pocket. You're never gonna want to get in the pocket.
And you start doing panic moves, and then you start fucking up.
Yeah, but if you're comfortable in the pocket, then you're in control,
you're
because
calm.
like because it's like before they could even think of getting in close, you're already in, because that's where you want to be, and then you just do whatever you fucking want. Same fighting games too, I suppose.
Oh, it's absolutely. It's funny because I was having this conversation literally last night. Some guy was playing, and the advice that I heard was like, get in front of his face. Why? Because once you're in front of his face, he's going to start panicking.
He
doesn't
swing.
feel comfortable in being in that position.
Yeah.
He wants to be back away so that he can hit you with his bullshit.
Yeah.
But if he's in the front of your face, he can't do that because he has to take a big risk doing those type of moves.
Yep.
That's crazy how it all ties together.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's the it also business works the same way. Like when you go into business, first of all, if it's any business that's known, someone's going to be out there competing against you. You may not like have to confront them eventually, but if you keep staying, you're going to confront competition. That's just how the free market works. So yeah, you got to use the same tactics. You got to, like, if you want to beat your guy, you got to like make him fuck up, meaning you got to get in his face, but not too close, so that you can make him swing, miss you with his bullshit, and then you follow up with a kill hit,
Exactly.
So yeah, that's it's just life, it's life shit.
Yeah.
And this is why I love martial arts, because it makes me a better person, because the only way to execute these things properly is you have to get outside of your own head.
Yeah.
You have to get out of your own feelings, like I remember when I was a teenager, I would be like playing Super Smash Brothers with my boys. I'd be having a good time, and then I would get a phone call. It would be like a really bad news. Like maybe I would get fired from my stupid part-time job, or maybe I just got dumped and I didn't know how to react right away. But then I would just hang up, and then suddenly I'll play like shit. I'll be like, oh, this doesn't work.
Yeah. That
So it's like
so
that's really half the game. If you could keep your head in the fight, that's half of it. If your enemy breaks their head in the fight, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah. So it's like, that's That's why the mind games are really effective in these, like, especially in like high level tournaments with pros, like Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I mean, sorry, StarCraft.
Oh, StarCraft. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. Although those StarCraft players, you know, they got nationalized really quickly.
You know, it's crazy how it's like almost like a sport in Korea.
It is a sport. It's a nationally recognized
Really?
sport.
Holy
yeah.
shit! Like I knew it was crazy. Like they have like their own like version of the World Cup, but with StarCraft
Yeah.
out there.
It's a national
And it's
sport.
like it's nuts. Like, dude, this game is like fucking 30 years old now, and yet these guys are still playing it at a crazy level, professional level.
Yeah, it's got the highest whatever level you call it. It's like 80 something level. I don't know. It's like the skill cap is basically ridiculously high.
It's because of all the macroing that has to do, all the keyboard like strokes per minute, all the clicking and all the bullshit that they do, and it's wild.
Apparently the greatest gamer, professional gamer in history was a StarCraft player. And he was that guy who went in going all random, like for every round.
Wait, what? He didn't pick like a race or anything. He just randomed it.
Yeah, he just random the whole thing, and he ended
That's
up and
fucking
he ended up
nuts.
like demolishing like the greatest fucking players in StarCraft. And like it's not even like they were all bad. Like some of the shit worked out really good for him, but other times it worked out really, and he still fucking won. Like he won up against one player where it's like he had their best race or whatever, and
Yeah.
he had his worst. And it's like,
Oh,
and
he
still
had a
won.
bad matchup and he still won.
Yeah, it was like that legendary.
Jesus
I mean, he didn't
Christ.
win that tournament. Otherwise, then yeah, more people probably would have recognized it. But that alone, like how far he.
That's a crazy ass skill.
And the only reason why he did that was because up until like for this was supposed to be his last professional competition before he joined the military in South Korea.
Oh yeah, because they always have to go for like 2 years or so.
So he was just going to retire after that. So he said, and he just kept winning. He was the greatest StarCraft player up until that point. So he was like, "This is my last competition. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do the whole thing random." the hidden fourth faction.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That's nuts. Because like when you usually
It's
playing
high,
those
yeah,
games,
it's such high level. Yeah, you
you're-
can't afford that
yeah,
shit.
because you're in tune to like that race that you're picking. You know all the strategies, but this guy knew everything.
And base placement, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And like not only that, but like, you know, like the gods of StarCraft were gods, but they still had their own class, their own race. You know, like this guy was this Zerg specialty.
Yeah, the
or whatever.
Zergs, the Protoss, the humans.
Yeah, but so like the best Zerg, the best alleged Zerg player was watching this guy's performance playing Zerg, and he was like, "How does he know that strat?" He wasn't like nobody knows that strat because think about it. If there was anyone who knew all the most cutting edge strats, it would be the greatest Zerg player in the world. So
Yeah.
he was watching this guy play, and he was like, "How the fuck does he know that?"
Yeah.
Like I never told anyone that. No one else is supposed to really know that.
It's crazy because like people will do this shit in video games, and I just imagine this is what's going on like in the martial arts world. There's like just crazy techniques or like strategies that people don't know about, and there's just like one guy that just knows the shit, and he's just fucking decimating people with it.
I mean, this is what's great about games. Games is like it's literally a way. It's like a boxing match for your brains.
It's a reflection of life, actually. Like
It-
all
it's
the
like-
things
yeah.
that we do in life can be reflected through the games that
It
we
tests your will. It tests your intelligence. It tests your
play. Reflexes.
character. I think character is a big thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it tests your reflexes. It tests your mental constitution. And we're not just talking about video games. We're
Yeah.
talking about all games, competitive games,
Yeah.
chess,
True.
poker, fucking shit. Yeah, all that shit. That's really. This is why I like games. I think games are really important. This is why I think like Hideo Kojima is a prophet. We need more men like him because in a world of leisure, in a world of leisure, we got to do good things with that. You know, we got to do good things with that leisure. Meaning, the only reason why things would be going bad when we have the ability to like literally just consume media all day. The only reason why that could be bad at that point is to conclude is because we're consuming bad media. We're consuming bad shit. We're consuming shitty fucking media that makes us think shitty thoughts, to feel shitty emotions, and to act shitty acts ultimately.
Yeah.
This is why, like, I think like it's extra important that like artists get their shit together and producers get their shit together and make works that they actually reflect their ideals, not what
Yeah.
they think will make money. Like they have to
Yeah,
like
I
really,
never-
we have to start like making more shit that reflects things that we really think and feel and I want to be, like want to
Yeah.
believe. Like, yeah, I'll admit, like I'll say all sorts of heinous shit, especially on social media, but I mean, none of it really reflects my ideal world because, like, I don't know, first of all, that's a big thing, right? Like
Yeah.
to even have the courage to identify and imagine your ideal world, like it's hard, and to have the courage and conviction to like try to do what you can to see it into reality, like that's also its own thing. And you realize you can't force anyone to do anything, you can't force anything to be a certain way, you can only just change yourself.
Yeah, really.
It's-
The way to change the world is you start with yourself.
yeah, when I say change yourself, I don't just mean like cut your wiener off, or like, I don't mean like fucking
That's not gonna help you.
I don't mean get a liposuction or get plastic surgery or fucking, I don't mean any of that. I just mean like, change your mentality. That's where it
Yeah.
has to start. If you know how to alter your mentality at will, and that's what's fucked up about like a lot of modern institutions are telling us some like whacked out shit where it's like
Like
you're
what?
you're a slave to your mental deficiencies. You're a victim of your own brain, of the way your
fuck
brain
that.
malfunctioning and like your mental disease. You have a disease. It's not your fault. You're just born broken.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, fuck
there's no
that. Like,
cure
it's
for
like
it.
it's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, dude, we don't even know the brain. Nobody really understands
Yeah.
like the functioning and like the nature of every mind. It's like every mind is unique. So like it's to pathologize everything, man. It just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
It
it's
doesn't.
fucking
It doesn't
weird.
fucking work.
It's like you don't know every situation that's ever happened for you to just, group people into that and tell them that, oh, you will never be cured. You're a fucking disease for the rest of your life.
Well, it's also so like hopeless. So what I like to do, I mean, I don't think it's completely void of merit. I think just having classifications of symptoms, I think that's useful.
Yeah.
Like to say like, okay, well, you're showing signs of depression as opposed to being a clinically depressed person.
Yeah.
Or it's like you're showing narcissistic tendencies as opposed to being a clinical narcissist. It's like I think those are useful, for like coupling like tendencies and patterns, but then you got to ask yourself to what end. Like, are you just like, trying to spot behaviors of a narcissist just so you could treat a narcissist? Or do you have a more holistic idea of like a whole, like satisfied, fulfilled person? Like, that's what we should be aiming to make, right? Not a cured person just for them to become mentally ill again so that they could have to come back, book another appointment, talk about their new problems, get some new
Yeah.
pills. It's like, no, fuck that. Like, and that's why it's so evil. That's why it's so easy not to trust it, because you're like, of course you want to keep us fucked up, because then like you would stop a whole flow of income for you. Like,
You ever been to a therapist?
yeah, sure, a couple. I don't knock therapists.
Yeah.
I think they could be very, very helpful.
Yeah, for the right person.
Yeah, but I think like, I don't know. It's like at this point, I wouldn't trust a therapist who isn't like a spiritual person.
Right, yeah.
Like I think there are many dudes. There's actually a surprising number of people out there with PhDs that just happen to believe in a soul. It's like I think I'm definitely more inclined to like seek that out. I think I'll be scared to allow myself to be influenced by like a completely atheist psychiatrist or I think that's
kind
like
of weird.
what?
It is kind of weird now that I think about
They
it.
must be like they're completely devoid of like a divine sense. Like I'm like you literally just see everyone as random soulless meat puppets for what? Like animal desires? Like no fucking thank you. Like no. Like I'm not trusting that. What are they gonna do? Tell me to like take like pills or some shit? Like
Yeah,
like
funny you mentioned that. I know a therapist, and I've seen her. She does work, and it's like, how are you even in a position to give people advice? Your life is a mess.
yeah.
Like, dude. And the reason why I stopped going to therapy, personally, they offered me drugs, and they asked me if, a psychiatrist, not a therapist, and I told them I'd rather take heroin than take SSRIs, and that was the end of it. There was no more conversation after that, and I was like, okay, that's fine, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I don't know. I think there's like, this is where I start to kind of maybe believe there is a higher power that directs and maybe chooses people for like, has a plan for us, because like, if you use your rational mind and look at my life, like as a person who never went to school, who literally broke every rule, who came from like a divorced family, who was institutionalized in foster care, who's been in juvie, who's been arrested multiple times, who you know, barely got their shit together. For me, it's like it's irrational for me to be at this happy of a place in my life.
Yeah.
Right? That's the kind of shit that makes me believe in God. You know, that's the kind of shit where it's like, why? But then it's still, you know, there's still a question of why me. But, you know,
Yeah.
like that's something I have to discover probably. But still, like, that's the kind of shit where it's like there's no rhyme or reason to this kind of like thing that manifested for me. You know, it's like, so there's clearly something I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
If I believe in a higher power, then the higher power made me go through that retarded ass ridiculous shit, you know, like, and then somehow managed to make me alive, but also happy,
Yeah.
you know, all things considered, and with a relatively good relationship with my father, no less, you know, like, all that being said, you know, makes me, it kind of makes you, like, makes me like really like anticipating, you know, like, what the fuck could this possibly lead up to? Like, what the fuck could any of this
Yeah.
possibly turn out to? Whether it's planned or random, I could only fucking imagine, like, you know, like, and that's an interesting place to be in, right? Like,
Yeah. There's hope for you.
yeah, it's
That's
like,
what people need, I think. They need hope. They need to see that there is an end goal to it all.
a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
Well, this is why I say, like, okay, so I mean, I must sound like a broken fucking record, but I'll repeat it as many times as I want.
Yeah.
So I tell people this all the time. I'm like, if you want to like get there, quote unquote, there, air quotes. If you want to get there, what you have to do is first you have to forget self-care. You have to go with self-alignment. That's
What's
step
that?
one. Forget about soul shit. Forget about wait, we got to talk about soul, but I'm saying forget about like God and forget about like enlightenment or spiritual awakening or anything. Just think about mind, like a trifecta: mind, body, and soul. Meaning you care for your mind, you care for your body, and care for your soul.
Yes. I've said this to other people before. Like
It's that simple.
It's the trifecta.
It's
like
three
you need
things.
to make sure that everything is in tip-top shape.
And you see this throughout history, right? They always allude to the Holy Trinity, you know, like, but if you could get those three things aligned, that's really what you have to do. It's not about focusing on one or it's getting them aligned with each other so that they're not fighting each other because they're all interconnected. That's the key thing to understand. Mind, body, and soul are highly connected. What happens to one ultimately gets reflected on the other. So as long as you could keep each one unharmed, like don't fuck with any of them, you know, like don't fuck with your body, don't do stupid shit to your body, let go of your shitty ideas, let go of ideas that don't serve you, let go of ideas that hinder you and hurt you. Like, why are you holding on to those ideas? Like, why are you holding on to this belief that you're a piece of shit? Like, why are you holding on to this idea that you're insignificant? Like, why are you holding on to these very, very limiting beliefs? If you could play around with these ideas and try them on as costumes, but for you to like actually see that as your truth, like you have to let that go.
Yeah.
So that's how you care for your mind. And caring for your soul is literally just looking at your soul and acknowledging it fucking exists. Just to be your soul, not just to look at it, but to be your soul inside of the human body. Not just to be your body and your eyeballs and your meat. I mean to actually just be the soul inside of the body. Be that soul. Like, look at reality not just from, you know, your meat body, but from the eyes of your soul inhabiting the meat body. You know, like look at life that through those lenses so you could acknowledge your soulful existence. Then like if you clear that mind, body, soul trifecta, if you clear the blockages there, you become the vessel for this shit. You become the vessel for that higher raised, you know, like raised energy, that raised consciousness, raised frequencies, higher vibrations. Because you're not going to experience it if you're treating your body like shit, if you have shitty ideas, and if you think you don't have a soul. You're never going to get there. It's never going to happen. And like, I mean, there's also a lot of other interesting ways, like the 9 chakra points throughout your body. Is it 9 or is it 7?
I think it's 9. I'm not too sure.
7. I think it was 7. I don't know. It was hilarious too, because for me, right before that whole spiritual awakening happened, I was randomly watching an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and there was that episode where Aang had to like unlock each of his chakra points so he could get to that the crown chakra where he could finally reach enlightenment and unlock his full potential, but he couldn't do it because, you know, he couldn't let go of his attachments with Katara. But what was interesting was they walk you through the process. It's like, okay, now we will first unlock the root chakra, and then they tell you how like, oh, the root chakra is rooted in survival and fear, and what blocks it is fear. So if you let go of fear, what are you most afraid of? Release it. And then it's like, okay, so this is what I'm afraid of. And I was doing it with Aang, and I was like, holy shit. But you know, like then I got caught up back with the show, and it's like, okay, that was fun. But I think that did something. I think
Really?
like you could literally accidentally like if because it's all a mental thing. It's like what are you afraid of? What are you ashamed of? What do you feel guilty of? What like what makes you feel tired? Well, it's like and then you just release all those locks, all those blockages, and yeah, you will get there. And if you could do it consciously, because that could be scary for some people,
It is
especially
scary.
yeah,
You're having a conversation with your soul.
with
at
your
that
shadow,
point.
yeah, with your soul, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I could
That's
ask
the
you,
worst thing
I
you
could
could
ask
do.
you, what are you afraid of? And you don't have to tell me the truth. And that is but if you ask yourself that, it's like you can't lie to yourself. You're either gonna be silent to yourself, or you're gonna answer that question.
Yeah.
And that's why it's crazy, So it's like just the fact that was on a children's show, like and I realized like post awakening, I was like, wow, that really did like happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Like just me watching that episode, and I was like, that was crazy because it's real shit.
Yeah, that is extremely real shit.
I fucking loved it, and like, it's such a, it's a good experience because it enriches life. It's almost like you see life from like black and white to like full of color, and you're like, oh shit. It's like actually, it's almost like seeing life through the eyes of a child again. Because when you're a kid, everything's all colorful.
Yeah.
And then as you get old, things get duller and duller, and you're like, fuck. But then like they say, oh, you find God, and yeah, but that's probably a natural process of life,
Yeah.
They just don't teach about it in school. That's why it's
why
like,
would they?
yeah, I guess.
Say, well, what do they gain from that? They just want more bodies to pay taxes. That's it. They don't give a shit about your enlightenment.
Yeah, I feel like it's not supposed to be like seen as like enlightenment, as in like something that only a select few will ever reach. I think it's really supposed to be like something that anybody can get, and I think it is something that anybody can get to. Because I mean, if you first of all, I'm a fuckhead. I'm not a holy person by any means. I'm
Yeah.
just a random fucking douchebag off the street, basically. And yet, I managed to find this kind of thing. And like, I don't know. I mean, I just can't help but feel like it doesn't care who you are. Like whatever this is, it doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't give a
Right.
fuck like if you're a murderer. It doesn't give a fuck if you're a saint or a philanthropist. It doesn't care. It doesn't
Yeah.
care if you're terminally ill. It doesn't care if you're like a 6-year-old child. It will get you if it wants you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy to think about that.
Yeah. And it's happening more and more, I think. I think more and more people are raising consciousness collectively. I think it's just happening. Because like we would have a conversation like this. Let's say you're a whole different person, like another one of my friends who just staunchly is like they're just absolutely against it. They don't believe in it. Just like pure physicalist, pure materialist, and they're like, nope, I can't accept this. And I'm like, okay. And then they just, like they'll have the memory of this conversation, but just because they didn't buy into it. But then something happens, like they go through a specific experience, something tips them over the edge, but at least they'll have that, memory, that experience of like having this conversation. It's like, that's going to plant the seed. And it's like, I don't know, it makes sense why it would like spread around almost pathologically, but yeah, so spiritual awakening, everybody, get yours today. Oh my God. It's going to be so fucked because like this spiritual war is so serious. I wouldn't be surprised if like you start seeing like pills on the market that supposedly chemically induce a spiritual awakening.
fuck
Like
outta
I
here.
could totally see that happening, man.
Oh man.
I mean, just the fact that I could imagine it, I guarantee you someone's actually invented it. Like
Gas station meditation pills. You imagine?
I'll call it Nirvana, gas station Nirvana pills. I mean, think about it. Like, all right, if a chemist, an actual chemist has a chemist slash, I don't know, some biologist or doctor or whatever, if they have a spiritual awakening and could like specifically identify every physiological sensation, involved, everything devoid of the actual like meaning and divine essence of it, but the actual physiological symptoms of a spiritual awakening, like that creeping feeling, and literally mimic and chemically induce that throughout the body with a pill. Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure that's probably what Molly is, to be honest.
Somewhat.
Yeah, except Molly also comes with like a whole bunch of organic baggage. It just makes you feel like shit afterwards.
Yeah. Grinding your teeth for no fucking reason.
I
or
don't even
some
mind
shit.
that. I just hate the aftermath of Molly. That's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the aftermath for you like?
Oh, like crazy bad stomach ache, like nausea, headache, sensitivity to light.
Yeah, I can't say that actually happened to me. Maybe I got some weird shit.
What I can say I absolutely despise is ketamine. I cannot.
Oh man, I don't even know how people fucking take that shit. Just hearing about it just makes me feel weird.
Well, every time I did ketamine, I just regretted it. I was like, this doesn't make me feel good at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a fun experience. This is not good. Maybe you just have to be so used to it, but I don't want to be used to that feeling.
It's a fucking shitty feeling, bro. I'm here to have fun, not like feel like dog shit, you know?
Maybe it could be better if the frequency or the vibrations were high enough, you know, in your environment. Like if you were at a really poppin' music festival with great friends, sun was beaming, you know, the vibes are already so good that even doing ketamine won't make you feel like shit. It'll just make you feel retardedly good. That's all it would do. You know, it would just make you feel you were already feeling good. Now you feel retarded. So you feel retarded and good. Whereas if you're in some fucking shitty warehouse party
and it's dark and the
you
bass
kind
is
of
in
feel
your
like
face.
shit. You know, you do kind of feel like shit. The only way that makes it tolerable is like alcohol and Molly and uppers. But you already feel like shit. So if you take ketamine, you feel like, okay, now you feel like shit and now you feel retarded. So you feel like shit and you're retarded. Congratulations. As opposed to like being in a better environment where you feel good and retarded. Now you feel like shit and retarded.
Yeah.
So this is why I don't like ketamine. I'd rather not feel retarded. You know, like I'd rather feel smarter. Even if I do become more retarded, I'd at least like to feel like I'm getting smarter, you know, like like cocaine, you know, like or like
Man. See, I've only ever done like acid at like festivals and shit, and it's like
Acid's
I'm
a great
already
drug.
having a great time, and now it just enhances it to a whole nother level.
yeah, acid's great for
Yeah.
festivals. It is I think it's probably the best intro psychedelic.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But I shouldn't even say that because me personally, I've done more acid than anything. So I guess for me, it's like more than just my intro psychedelic. But I think it's a very easy one to take.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to mushrooms could be really hard. For people. I love mushrooms.
I've had it once, and it was like I was at the festival, and I didn't even know where the fuck I was.
Well, I don't like it when people treat mushrooms as a party drug because it doesn't make sense as a party drug. You know, it's like
yeah, it's more like okay, so I've heard people say it's like they're finding something about themselves when they take mushrooms. Is that true?
I mean, of course. I mean, I feel like really the truth is that you're always learning something about there's always something new to learn about yourself throughout your day. It's just on mushrooms you actually pay attention to certain things that you wouldn't usually pay attention to about yourself, you know? So yeah, there's that, but you know, it's like some people, I guess that's at varying degrees. Like some people already naturally do that. Some people don't do it at all or don't do it enough. But when I did mushrooms, I always felt like I was being like, I definitely felt more like definitely being guided by a different entity. You know, it's like it definitely felt like I consumed something that had an intelligence, you know, like something like that. Whereas acid, it just felt like taking a chemical and just fucking me up. Whereas like when I eat shrooms, I actually felt like I was sharing my body with something, you know, like
Interesting. Because when I've taken acid, the thing that I noticed, I was more of my pure self. I was distilled. There was like no outside inhibitors whatsoever. I was just me, pure. When I took mushrooms, I only took it once, so I can't really say that it was like a definitive experience. I was just like lost. Like I don't know how I got there. I didn't feel fully in control of my body. It might be like how you said, it might be another entity guiding me, but I didn't feel like myself.
I think what it does is like let's say you have certain sensitivity levels, not just sight, but sight, sound, also vibes, you know, like sight, sound, and vibes, as in like you could just your capacity, like you ever just walk into a room and you could just feel like, oh, the tension in the air or something.
Yeah.
When you're on acid,
You feel
all
it.
your shit gets like magnified. Your your senses, not just your five senses, but your extra senses, they also get amplified. You can feel vibes, intuition more. So since that all gets boosted, it's gonna feel like. That's why if you take too much, it's overwhelming. You know, it's like your right hemisphere starts working overtime, and you start seeing insane shit. You're like, oh shit.
I do remember seeing some shit. It's like, wait a minute, that's not there.
Yeah. So that's what I think. That's what acid will do. I like acid. I just feel like acid is like it just strips away layers of you, because that's the only thing that dulls your senses, your intuition. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing holding you from constantly seeing like all sorts of crazy fucking hallucinations is your layers of your ego. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like your baseline bedrocks of reality. You know, it's
Yeah.
like this is your brain. It's not even you consciously thinking of it. It's your brain saying like this is always going to be like this. This is real. This is real. Some of those layers are just baseline layers, but other layers, more of them probably, are just built up over time of like memories and experiences, and a lot of that stuff isn't even objective truth. It's just like you're like, oh, like a lot of it could just be like, oh, I had that one like bad experience with eating seafood when I was that age, so therefore your brain just thinks seafood bad, bad.
Actually, true. I have a nephew who has like a. It's so weird. He only eats like a very like select diet of food. Like he'll eat rice, chicken, and that's about it. And steak. He won't eat any pork or any seafood. And anytime he looks at like a shrimp, I think he saw like a shrimp with its head still on,
Yeah.
which certain like cuisines will do that. And he looked at it and like started gagging. It's like, dude, you haven't even eaten it yet, and you're already gagging.
Yeah.
Like it's purely mental.
Yeah,
Because of whatever experience he had. I don't know what it was that triggered it, but him looking at it actually gave him a reaction.
Yeah, could be an ancestral memory or something, some kind of trauma.
Yeah, that I think is definitely trauma related, but it's like, bro.
But you know what? Funnily enough, I think if you gave him some acid, he might actually. It might actually. No, I'm serious. You ever? Oh wait, you didn't take acid that much, right? But I've taken acid.
I've taken it like probably a handful of times.
Oh, acid?
Yeah.
So you ever take it like when you had like food, like good food?
I can't recall food.
I know it's not something you're always like.
Yeah.
It's not. I know being hungry is like the first thing that happens on acid, but I remember with one of my exes, I took acid with her, and we went to have dinner with my parents at this restaurant, and we were on acid. I don't know why that was a good
boy.
idea, but we got away with it. We got away with it fine. It was great. It was awesome. I was like, I can't believe we pulled that off.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were on acid by the time we got to the restaurant, and there was just banging ass sashimi, and I was like, everything aesthetically looked so beautiful, and then we were just tasting it was like this crazy
man.
experience. Yeah, so I think I'm not gonna say it's always a good idea to eat on acid, but I think sometimes it could work really, really
Because like
well.
the colors pop
Yeah,
out,
exactly.
the flavors pop out.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? I know exactly the image that's in my mind.
And then you could just like you're trying to like hold it together. Meanwhile, this is the craziest fucking thing I've ever eaten
I know,
in my
right?
whole
This
life.
is so fucking amazing.
And you're just nodding your head, like trying to act normal. I remember there was one point where it's like my dad was like, "Are you all right?" And it just. It literally felt like the whole restaurant went silent and just turned to look at me.
No.
And then I was just like, yeah, I'm just a little tipsy. That's all. And he's like, oh, all right. And then everything, and then it seemed like everything just went back to normal. It was all in my head, but it just felt like that. You know, it was like, he goes, are you all right? I was like, yeah, I just, I had a lot to drink. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he just, anyway, so he kept talking about fishing. And I was like, yeah, it's so good.
Dude, I had the same exact moment with my sister and my ex. And luckily for me, I think we took acid.
Yeah.
I can't remember because it's been a while. And she saw me like moving funny, like body language. And she asked my ex, like, is he all right? And she's like, yeah, it's fine. He just needs to go to the bathroom. Which wasn't a lie. I really needed to piss.
Yeah.
Which was like, I was like, moving antsy. But it was like, damn.
Yeah,
That was a close call.
You started acting like a little kid again, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I like, I had to tinkle. The little kids had like, do
Yeah,
that thing
the
with their
tinkle
feet.
dance,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am when I'm like, it's funny, like when people, that's really how I look at it. Like if I'm with a group of people and we're on acid, I just look at it as we're little kids again. It's like, all right, we're children again. That's really,
all the colors are like the most important thing to you at the moment.
Yeah.
Like you're just a child. Like,
and then
look
when
at
you
these
get
colors.
introspective about it, like you start really thinking about who you're with and them as people and yourself as a person. And it really is like, re-experiencing that for the first time all over again. So that's how I look at it. That's why it's always a fun time.
Oh yeah.
Because it feels like, an anime to me. It's like we're like kids again, little kids, or we're just ripping through the city on acid. It's a fun time. And you also have to like be with people who sort of at least know what they're doing,
Yeah. I can't say I've ever been on a trip with like somebody who has had a bad one, but I can imagine like it's such a drag, and like and not like in a mild way. Like it takes you down with them.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, but it wasn't. I don't know. They didn't drag me all the way down. It was just this one girl where it's like you said, you know, some people take acid. You know, we talk about how we take acid. It strips away layers of your like ego, right? Your conscious ego, and the layers of bullshit that built up over time. You know, to get to the core of who you really are. And this sounds really fucked up, kind of. But it's almost like this girl. Like once we stripped the layers of the bullshit, we were all stripping our layers. There was just nothing there. Like she was just blank the whole time.
Oh,
it was
God.
scary too. I was like, "Is this person brain dead?" Like we were just like this. And it couldn't really like function properly. And I was like, "Holy shit! This is fucking terrifying. This is like."
That's how I feel about certain girls at a certain age at this
Not
point.
even girl. Just the fact that any human could be like, and that's the day I learned. Like some people are just like that. Like if you strip away,
It's like, how do you live like this? Is there nothing there?
yeah.
Damn, that's actually scary.
That's a legit NPC. Like that's like the close. I mean, look, this is what this is one element of Gnosticism, like ancient esoteric tradition that like not ancient, that ancient. I don't know. It's definitely about as old as Christianity. But like one of the things I don't necessarily subscribe to, but that they always talk about is that amongst us, there's people that just don't have souls. You know, they're people that you know, they function as like meat bodies. They get hurt, they get hungry, they want to eat, they get horny, they want to fuck. There's people that walk around like that, you know, but you just talk to them about spiritual shit, they just go blank. Like they're just not there. They can't
that
even
fluoride stare.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, the Gnosticism talks about like how these people are called hylics, right? So there's apparently 3 classes of people in like the spiritual scale trio, or I guess the castes. There's the bottom, which is the hylics, the people with no souls, but they function like physically as human beings. You know? And then there's people who don't see but are made to see, as in people who do have souls but they don't know that they have a soul, so they
Right.
eventually become aware of it, and you know, whatever. And then there's people who are born already knowing. Those are like your weird cases of like babies who could just tell the future and shit like that, you know, like, which I don't know, probably is pretty rare. But what I didn't like was like, you know, just any idea of like, oh, there's some, you know, the hierarchy. It doesn't sit right with me because I'm so punk rock. But like what they were basically talking about were NPCs. That's like the modern take on this. Like that's like, you know, like, oh, you're just an NPC. But that's exactly what they're referring to, because, you know, you think about like a human being who's just completely devoid of soul, which is not to say they're evil or
Right,
good.
it's
You know,
just, you know,
they could
not
be evil or
enlightening.
good. They're just like regular people, but they can't tap into a metaphysical self-perception. Like they can't.
Can that person ever tap in and like enlighten themselves, or are they just like, no soul, that's it, you're done?
Well, there's different takes on this, right? You know, because like first of all, none of this is proven. This is another reason why I don't like to, you know, dive into this shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even though this shit is old as fuck, but like one of the reasons is like because there's some interpretations where it's like, yeah, they're just meat puppets basically. They only literally exist to make this matrix reality, this material experience for you seem more real, so you could develop as a person. They're basically background characters for you to enrich your story. There's that. There's also this idea that, oh, they could just act as like organic portals where, you know, eventually, you know, like maybe they could be inhabited with a soul after they've developed enough experience as just a hylic, as just a husk, a shell, a meat puppet. But with enough like experience in this world, they develop the seed of a soul, and that, you know, allows to incubate. There's that. There's also this idea where it's like not only can they be incubated by human experiences to eventually that develops into a soul, but also they could be controlled and manipulated by archonic forces, which is like evil forces, like, you know, the forces of chaos and lack and fear and anxiety, you know, stuff that feed off of that. Which, you know, it makes total sense. We see that in the world. I mean, it's not like something so unimaginable. Like, literally, you look at like mainstream media news. Those are people that profit off of fear. Without fear, they would be out of business. Like, what the fuck would the news be if there was nothing to be fucking afraid of in this world? Nobody would give a shit. It's the only reason why we fucking watch it is because we want things to be afraid of. And we want to know at least what to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Survival.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know if I want to buy into, because I feel like even if it's true or not, the point isn't for me to believe in it. It's not going to do anything for me whether it's not, because even if these soulless people do exist, it's not going to make me want to treat them any less human, because that's going to be, first of all, it's going to be bad for my soul.
Yeah.
Second of all, like on the off chance, like how would I know for sure? How would I know if that NPC is actually just a really like completely disconnected but a souled person? How do I know that a really soulful seeming person isn't just like it's stupid. It's stupid to really go out of your way to try to use your own like judgment to determine who would be an NPC or not. You know, like so I don't like that one. You know, like I feel like it's very reductive. It's low IQ to like think of it that way. I don't like it. Yeah. But you know, like it's an interesting concept though.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I do see like going back to this acid story. When I saw that girl, it kind of made me believe in that. You know, like, I was like, shit, like maybe NPCs are real.
Yeah, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, because like you know, you take a person, you give them acid, you strip away their shit. They're like a little kid again. They'll be honest. They'll be sincere. They'll be authentic. That person, it was just like nothing. They were just like literally spent like 30 minutes to an hour. Like I was like, holy shit.
They're like slightly brain dead or some shit.
Yeah. No, I don't think they were that. It's just, I mean, they were clearly an intelligent person. Like,
no, I'm not saying like
they went to university. They're more educated than me, for all you know. But still, like, once you
at that moment,
that's all material shit. If you peel all that away and you bring them back to like their base, it's like shit. There's not much there.
That's sad, man.
I don't know. Maybe it got beaten out of them. Maybe they never had
probably. They maybe didn't have like a childhood worth going back to.
Exactly.
So rather they just instead of going back to that, it would just be a blank state.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty heavy shit. This is why I think acid is good. It helps us be very, very introspective.
Acid is good. I like that.
I don't know if I'm ready. I think I'm supposed to try ayahuasca at some point, but I
oh, that's crazy. I've heard about that.
I hear it's really hardcore.
Oh man.
I hear it's hard.
Really? Like what do they experience when they take that?
Well, just the idea of being like so nauseous you feel like you're gonna die.
Oh shit! Well,
and your body is so convinced it's gonna die, it actually makes you hallucinate and stuff.
Oh, like near-death experience type.
Kind of, but near-death experience is very different. Oh, that's a whole nother bag. Like the near-death experience shit, that's its own spiritual avenue of study. It's crazy. Like, if you go on YouTube and type in near-death experience stories, it's just literally insane the sheer number of people like who talk about these experiences, and they're never the same. They're always like, you know, there's always like differences in shit, but they allude to such same shit. Like you get something called a life review, where you know, they say your life flashes before your eyes. Like you literally walk through like a slideshow almost. Like
that's
shows
crazy.
Your best moments, your worst moments, and that's where you come to the conclusion like I did some horrible shit, but I did some good shit too. And that's the whole point of that, to make you come to terms with like the fact that you did what you did, you know, good and bad.
Right.
So they say, and this is what most of them like literally talk about, like 99%. I haven't seen one that didn't yet, basically. And there's always like new ones every day. But like, yeah, so apparently, and you also have the outer body experience. Like apparently you do see your body. Like after you die, you're like, oh shit, I'm fucking dead. And like you see your loved ones like go into your body, like what the fuck, and then you're just like, I'm right here, hello, and they can't hear you because you know you're not there. So like they all describe that feeling. And they also go into how you go to life, and they also describe how you feel amazing. Like you feel way better than you've ever felt, like being alive. Like you just feel great in that state, you know?
You know what? That reminds me of people who were actually dead, like technically, but were brought back to life.
This is what I'm talking. When I say near-death experience, that's what I mean. I'm talking about these people
actually were like almost dead, and then they were brought back to life.
Resuscitated. Yeah,
right.
These are the stories that we're talking about. There was people that were dead for like a near
5 minutes or something. Shit. I don't know.
But that was enough for them to like go through like all this shit, because apparently there's no time like there.
Right. The concept of time is already like not. It's not. That's of the material plane, and they're not there at that moment. And one thing that I remember, they always said that they felt like they had the best sleep they've ever had in their life. They were so comfortable.
Yeah, they were like, I did not want to come back.
Yeah,
that's what they said. They're like, I was like, no, please don't. And you know, a lot of these people would say like they saw their dead relatives. Like my brother who died when I was a kid, like I saw him there and he was explaining everything to me. It's like, oh yeah, this is where you come after you die. This is what you. And then they say, now I realize like that was just took the form of my brother, whatever that was. And then it's like, and you know, I went through all this and I was just I pulled away so far from like where I was. It was like instantaneous travel, and suddenly I was somewhere else, and it was just nothing but light. And they were just all they explained was just like all these crazy, just light, and it was like a warm, loving light. It was the best feeling they couldn't even describe how amazing it was, and it's to the point where they realized like they were like whatever the entity they were communing with, they were like you have to go back, and they were like I don't want to go back. Like I don't want to go back. I want to stay. I want to stay here. And they said you have to go back, and they're like okay, fine, I'll go back. And then
Jeez.
suddenly they wake up. And they never talk about it again. Because like a lot of these people, they're like, I'm gonna sound crazy, they're gonna just tell me it was a hallucination,
Yeah.
whatever. But then like, with YouTube, like more and more people started talking about this.
Yeah.
Because like they started and you have this huge
Community of people like confessing what they felt, and it all adds to the same shit. They all explain that same feeling, that same sensation.
some of the stories were awesome. Like there was this one guy, he was like a crazy radical Black Lives Matter activist, and he would describe like how he just had like he was just angry all the time because like he was always so like consciously fixated on like civil rights stuff, and he even it got to the point where he wished like actual violence on like white people basically, and he was like I really wished on nothing but. It's to the point where it's like I almost like willed it to happen, and it's like this is to the extent that like I was so immersed in like this like hatred, and he was like he was also like experiencing like heart diseases and stuff like that.
Oh boy.
And he didn't realize that his anger was literally killing him.
Yep.
And then eventually he had a stroke. Like he literally like his heart like fucked. He got fucked and he just collapsed and pretty much died. And then he went through his NDE, his near death experience, and he the state he was in. He said I never even realized I could experience an existence where I was just free from all like the negative emotions, all that heaviness, that material heaviness was gone. And he would describe how like he just felt great, and he was made to see how it doesn't matter what people look like. All the anger is built on this misunderstanding that us our bodies are just like they're just material. Those come and go, but what's inside the bodies, the soul, those are eternal, and they're all made of the same essence that your soul is. It's all the same shit. So that's when like he realizes like, oh fuck, like and then of course there was like you have to go back, and he's like no, don't make me go back. He's like you have to go back. He's like fine. So he came back, and then now apparently like talking on YouTube, he feels like a lot better and shit, and yeah, it's great. So now he's basically saying it's like I think like the key to all of our societal issues is really like to just do your best to remind people we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And it's like I don't know, it's that's another, like I said, that's another avenue. And I remember I had my near death experience, but for me it was different because I was a little kid when it happened. So like I don't even remember any of it. I just knew like throughout my personal history I was told by my family like I flatlined because I got super duper. Or what happened was like I think I was running a fever, and my grandma, as a result, or maybe it wasn't a fever. Maybe I was just like, maybe it was just hot. Maybe I was just hot. But she thought I was sick, so she kept. And it was like summer, like 93 degrees out, and she kept putting blankets on me and blankets and blankets and blankets and blankets. Until like I got to some ridiculous temperature, like 112 degrees Fahrenheit or some shit. Yeah, I had to go to the emergency room, and like I overheated so bad I flatlined.
Jesus Christ.
They had to put me in an ice bath. But like I was like fucking 4, 5 years old or some shit like that. So like I don't remember any of it, but it's not, so I could never say I had that like full blown near death experience shit. So I mean if I did, I wouldn't have known. But I will say this though, it did have some powerful effects on my life. Like, once I actually considered it, I was like, that actually really did set the tone for how so many of my closest relatives would treat me from that day forward. Like from that age. Yeah, of course. Like whether they knew it or not, whether they meant to or not, like it would undoubtedly impact like your relationship with your family, having like being that kid who almost died, Even if they forget about it, it's still going to subconsciously be embedded in there, People treat you differently when you almost die or when you do die,
They almost lose you for a sec.
Exactly.
So now they're taking they don't want to lose or take it for granted the time that you actually are alive.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, I've always been more interested in like the adults who like flatline and then they have to like they go through that. That's so fascinating to me. It's
Yeah.
like so fucking interesting because it's almost like without fail they come back from that and they become like it's like they literally met God. You know,
Yeah.
they faced face to face with God. I mean, call it God, call it source energy, call it the universe, call it whatever you want. Good orderly direction. I don't fucking know. Like, but it's I don't know. I believe
It's enough
there.
to change their lives for the better.
Yeah.
At least they saw what direction they were going, and they weren't, they didn't want to go that way.
Yeah, and I feel like this is also like the most important game. This is the biggest game of our lives. Like you could play money, you could play romance, you could play all of these games, but this is it. This is the game. This is for me. Like in my eyes, I'm like, this is the game because this just keeps going and it's huge and it's like you can't. It's so huge you can't even really even see it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and we're all playing it, despite whether we want to or not.
Yeah, and it's not just a walk in the park. Like supposedly there's like evil forces out there, archonic forces. I mean, if you imagine like positive spirits and guiding spirits, you could also imagine like demons and like archonic energy, like negative energy. I mean, just look at the state of our world. It's like it's obvious, like clearly, there's like evil forces that's like I don't know, just the fact that like someone, whether or not you believe in a demon that possesses a group of people to do a satanic ritual where they murder innocent children.
That's just, yeah.
But the fact is, like, there are people out there who do it, and because to them it's very real. And if they're acting out in a real belief to them, then in a way it's real.
Yeah.
In a way, it was real enough to manifest itself to take the lives of actual humans. And I'm like,
those
dude,
deaths are real.
So
despite whether or not you think demons are fucking real, those deaths are real.
So then that means, like, in a certain sense, whether you take it literally or not, they are real.
Yeah. Real enough to provide an outcome.
And I look at it like this: like, if you don't want to see it as like something that takes an actual physical shape of a demonic looking creature, think of it as like vibes. Imagine vibes that are alive, like living vibes.
Oh boy!
Like there's good vibes, and those good vibes could be living, and there's bad vibes, and those bad vibes could be living. And they're just vibes, but they might be intelligent. Maybe these vibes have a mind of their own. So these good vibes, they're not just like vibes that we generate. They could be sentient vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How much time do we have? Wow. We went for quite a bit on this one. So yeah, I'm about ready to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good talk, man. Thanks for coming by.
Anytime.
We'll see you people on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Peace.